Alright, mic's going, everything's good. What's up, guys? So, welcome back to the Common Flock. There will be no Fighter from 3 this week, and by the time this drops, it should be ready and up and going. I will have a stream later today, either at 6 or 6:30. I haven't pulled the time out yet. It's probably going to jump between those two until I can get a concrete answer later, because I'm recording this at noon right now. So I got 6 hours to decide, but the Golden Dome will be alive. The game is tonight at 7:30. Fighting Irish, Florida State. Go check that out. But yeah, let's get right into it. This will be I was gonna say the next one I will be recording should be after the Eagles game, so it'll be after their first official regular season game. So I will talk about them. I will preview the game a little bit here, and I will also do a preview the day of, and then do a potential review. Well, I'll review on the podcast. That'll be my review. But anyways, I'll also go over a couple different things, like I'll preview the games and everything, because now's a good time to talk about them, all the games this week, so let's get right into it. And looking at this game, this is one the Eagles do have a good chance in. This should be their game, more or less. Calvin Ridley and Russell Gage, you got to cover Ridley. Gage may not be as much of a threat, but he's still a threat in the passing game. And then you've got Kyle Pitts, who we don't know what impact he's going to bring. I'm hoping it's not a very large impact because, I want to win this game. But nonetheless, it should be an interesting game from our defensive perspective because you got to cover those three. They haven't had the greatest rushing attack over the past season. They haven't really had a good one. And that's going to continue. I don't necessarily think there's somebody in that running back room that scares me right now. Could somebody break out? Yeah, who knows? But right now, I'm not really scared of anybody in that running back room. And Matt Ryan is a quarterback that I slot with a lot. I put him in a same category as a Derek Carr or a Kirk Cousins or a Case Keenum. Are they good? Yeah. Can they sometimes be great? Yeah, it depends on where you categorize them. Are they elite? Very debatable. Probably not. They're very consistent. They'll give you what you need on the field. If you put the right guys around them, they'll excel and they'll get you to great places. But they're not somebody who's going to single-handedly pull you along somewhere. They're not like a Josh Allen or somebody like that. And they're also not the most mobile. So it'll be interesting. It's a good offense, so to speak, necessarily, but it's not great. And there's going to be a lot of uncertainty from what Gannon's going to run and what the defense is going to do and how they're going to look, especially with multiple Sam linebackers who can play 3-4 stand-up. So it'll be interesting. And this is a game that really, I think, could be, what's the word? It could be one that we overlook slightly because of bigger opponents in later weeks, but hopefully not. Hopefully I don't regret saying that. Hopefully. Actually, they are starting Hayden Hurst, though. I'm thinking, looking at it now. But yeah, that'll be dangerous if they can get Hurst and Pitts together, playing a decent, really well game. Ooh. But I have a belief in this defense. You've got a loaded D-line with a lot of depth in the rotation from guys like Kerrigan, Sweat, even a Teron Jackson. And that's going to take a lot of pressure off the older guys, whether that's Brandon Graham or your starters too, or whether that's Derek Barnett. I don't want Barnett starting, but he's going to be starting, I'm guessing. Can we start Sweat, please? Like the whole season, because that'd be nice because he deserves it, and I'd take Barnett on the bench instead of Sweat on the bench any day. But you'll probably see them play like a 50-50. You'll probably see a lot of both of them. But defensive tackle too. You're taking a lot of pressure off Fletcher Cox with the additions of Hargrave. Hassan's back on the roster. Hassan Ridgeway. T.Y. McGill comes off COVID list next week, I think. Maybe sometime next week. So if he does end up landing back before the game, I don't have the numbers, so I don't necessarily know where he'd land back in. But if he can land in before the season starts, I wonder where he'll fit in. I don't think there's any spots open. I think there is one practice squad spot open. Either that or vice versa. I think there might be a spot open. But there's a spot open somewhere as far as I can remember. But it'll be important because it takes pressure off him. It gets him out of the gate. He's not playing 90+% of snaps every game for the season. It can get him off the field a little bit more, keep him fresh, keep him from lower the chance of him getting injured. And you can bring in a guy like Hassan Ridgeway. Later in the season, if McGill stays, you can get a guy like McGill on. You can get Marlin on, the other defensive tackle. And I have a lot of confidence if we continue to run 4-2-5. And you've also got Eric Wilson and Alex Singleton, who are both good coverage linebackers. Wow, Singleton's an okay coverage linebacker at times. Sometimes he's someone who can be up and down at times depending on his performance. He's not the greatest run stopper, and they like to run right at him. But with the addition of an Eric Wilson, who's a good tight end coverage guy and everything, I have a bit of faith. And with the guys behind him. And if we continue to run a lot of 4-2-5 and bringing down safeties and everything, Jacoby Stevens isn't here anymore, but expect to maybe see an Epps come down a little bit, or a linebacker. Well, no, not. At times you might see a linebacker come down into a safety, but with Stevens gone, I don't necessarily know. I don't know what to expect if they run 4-2-5 and keep bringing a safety to the box, or they put another guy out in coverage. But it's interesting. They preach versatility. They preach turnovers. That's going to be very good if they can get turnovers, because if you preach it and you can get it, that's going to win you games right there, turnovers. But anyways, this is going to be a weird year, and it also depends on if McLeod's 100%. Because he's the anchor of that defense. He's one of the leaders. He's one of the voices. Can he still do that from the sideline? Yes. But not like he can from the field. Not at all. And he's a guy who's got a lot of experience. He can be there and he can see things. He knows what he's seeing on the field, and he can communicate that with guys, whether that be switch coverages or plays or something like that. And we were talking about this last night it was a call-in stream with AK, or Eagles Uncensored, and Vic3 over on AK's channel. The question was brought up, how does it compare having McLeod start and play to having Kayvon? Like, if McLeod was to be out. And that's what I want to compare to right now. Like, Kayvon, if you have him in there, he's less experienced. He's not going to see things like Rodney's going to see him. He's not going to be leading that defense like Rodney does. And he's not going to be that voice, so there's a big change there. And in terms of play, Rodney's a better player than Kayvon right now. He's more talented than Kayvon right now. Can Kayvon be? Can the script flip sometime in the future? Yeah, sure, but not right now. I have trouble saying script flip. I don't know why, but let's not trail off too far. That'll be interesting. I'm really excited to see our defense. And then on our offensive side, you're going to see a lot. Well, I hope we really bring a running back on on board because we need one. Unless we're gonna not run any two running back sets, and I'm going to freak out because I got all excited for two back sets, and then you take that away from us. But I think the roles are probably gonna be you're gonna see a lot of Miles, a lot of Boston, and a little bit of Gainwell. If you do see him, he's probably gonna be catching passes out of the backfield, taking a little bit of catches from Miles. Miles will probably be taking more runs, and that's in general and from a running back perspective in terms of the room. And then you'll probably see Boston Scott and little carries here and there when you need them, because the dude's a bowling ball. And he's not even a power back, but the dude's just, 5'6", 203. And the guy is, like, jacked for his size. I don't know. But it'll be interesting, because I want to see a lot more Boston Scott in the backfield. Gainwell will probably be the one guy you kind of want blocking unless you want to continue to work with Sanders. I'd honestly choose... I can't choose between either. I'd say split between both. And I don't know what this is picking up. I think my mic's picking something up, and I have no idea what it is. Okay, there we go. He fixed it. Whew. I was like, it's picking something up, and I have no idea what it is. So if there was a sound right there that wasn't me, my bad. I couldn't have been my computer, because my computer fan's loud. It's probably picking up right now, but realistically, I want to see a little split of both, because, Miles is a good blocker, but he's not the best. I think Gainwell can be one of the better blockers, but I know everyone's going to be like, oh, we let go of Carrion, he was one of the better blockers. Yeah, alright. No, we'll work with the rookie here. The rookie won't get injured, hopefully. And then you don't know what to expect from these receivers and from this scheme on offense because it's unpredictable. And you're probably going to see a lot of four receivers. Quez is probably going to steal a decent amount of snaps from Rieger even if he doesn't start. Because honestly, I'd rather have Quez than Rieger in the slot any day as your 3. But it is what it is. And then I hope to see J. Jaw in the slot and be excited about him being J. Jaw in red zone packages. I'd be excited for that. I want to see that. I want to see that so bad. People joke and they're like, "Oh yeah, fun or a good one." When I'm like, "Yeah, J. Jaw's gonna score one touchdown. Score is gonna be 17-10 Eagles. J. Jaw will score only touchdown in a red zone package." People think that's funny. I'm serious. I am serious. Miles would get the other touchdown, but his will be a rushing. J. Jaw will get the only passing touchdown in a red zone package if it's a low score, and I think it'll be 17-10. I think this is gonna be a low score game. The Falcons, this defense can stop them. I know it can. The question is, can we get past the Falcons' defense? Some people have a lot more faith than I do that it'll be a high-scoring game. Here's what it is. And then at tight end, you're going to have the situation of who's your number one, but let's not get into that one. And then... No, I think I got it all covered. Yeah, because I don't really need to talk about the O-line, and quarterback's already a sealed position, so... Anyways, let's go to... I didn't talk about who landed on the practice squad, but that I'll just let go for now. I'm not going to talk about it here. But anyways... So... First game up is the Thursday night opener. Cowboys, Buccaneers. Yeah, I'm taking the Bucs on that one all day. There's no question. And to any of the Cowboys fans, if you're watching, if you're one of the people that say they're going to go 15-12, you're funny. But yeah, I'm taking the Bucs all day on that one. Yeah, we don't know if Dak's 100%, really. I mean, you can say he's 100% all he wants, but that doesn't reassure me. Not only that, I want to. He's going to be more cautious coming off that ankle injury. He's going to. Which is going to lead to more hesitations, overthinking, and screw ups. So you can't tell me that's not going to affect this game. And then the Bucks, you're not stopping Tom Brady. That defense with the inexperienced linebackers and everything, he's gonna target the inexperienced linebackers over the middle all the time. Easy win for Tom Brady, and it's Tom Brady. Yeah, I don't have to say anything else. Then Seahawks Colts, the start of the 1 o'clock games. I'm taking the Seahawks. As much as I want to take the Colts, you got to stop Russ. And I think this game, Russ is going to cook. Russ is 100% going to cook. They're going to let him cook, whether they like it or not. I don't know if this defense can stop him. And then on the other side, it's going to be a shootout. I'll say that, because Seahawks defense isn't what it used to be. Not at all. But ultimately, I think the Seahawks got more, because you got to stop DK, you got to stop Lockett, you got to stop the running attack. The Seahawks can every once in a while have a decent running attack. It'll be a shootout, but I think it ultimately will come down to who gets that last score, and I think it'll be Russ. Jags, Texans. I'm taking Texans. Jags are rebuilding. Yes, they've got Trevor Lawrence. I get it, but Trevor Lawrence just lost his right-hand man in ETN. And that he's going to struggle without him. Not only that, he's going to get a welcome to the NFL shot, because that's what most rookies are going to get. And he already got his welcome to the NFL, but it'll be his official welcome to the NFL. And he's in a rebuilding Jacksonville. He's not going to immediately come in and just have a bunch of success. He's going to struggle for the first few weeks at least. And the Texans, even if they don't have Deshaun Watson, have fun with David Mills and Kellen Mond. But even if they don't have Deshaun Watson, still, that offense can do a little bit, and I don't have enough belief in the Jaguars to say they're going to win this. Eagles, Falcons, you know how I'm taking. Eagles, 17-10. That was already answered, basically. Chargers, Washington. I'm taking the Chargers. You're telling me if Washington, I get it. They've got a great defensive front. They've got a great front four. You're not going to stop Herbert coming into his second year, hoping to take a leap forward. Potentially has taken a leap forward over the offseason. And then he's throwing to guys like Keenan Allen. And he's got Eckler in his backfield. You're not going to stop him. You're not going to stop him. He's going to go off, dude. He's going to go off. Washington does have a good defense, but that Chargers offense is good. And then on the other side, you're going to hand the ball off to Gibson and throw to Terry McLaurin all game. Like, you really don't have much on offense in terms of weapons, and then you don't have Fitzmagic throwing the ball anymore. You don't have Alex Smith throwing the ball. You're still scrambling for quarterbacks. Actually, no, didn't Fitz go there? Yeah, Fitz went there, as far as I remember. I don't know why I said Fitz was there. Fitz is there, I'm pretty sure. Let me look that up, because I've got so much to do today that I actually forgot. Alright, tell me. Yep, he's in Washington. So that's Fitzmagic, but you don't know which one you're going to get. Are you going to get Fitzmagic or Fitzception? So ultimately, it's his decision. First he takes you to the basement, and then he barely pulls you to the top of it, so you can't tank. Steelers, Bills. Bills all the way. Bills, Bills, Bills. Bills are a loaded team. They just added on to their defense, and I like them as an overall team. They just needed more experience last year, and I think this is the year that they've got enough experience in most guys that it's like, yeah, you are in prime position to go for a Super Bowl. And Bills Mafia, you know how they would react. They would love it. But when it comes down to it, that defense, Ben Roethlisberger, he's going to be throwing short passes all the time. That offensive line right now, as far as we know, it's made of cardboard. And you just dumped a couple vets, and now you're trying to rebuild it. A lot of people say they're good, but I'm like, they're in the same boat as Las Vegas. If you're going to call them good, or you're going to say, oh yeah, they let them go for a reason. Well, yeah, because they're rebuilding it. Doesn't mean they have guys in place that are going to excel automatically. They lost, 4 or 5 starters, if not the full line? No, the Buffalo, they don't have the greatest D-line, but they could have a field day. I wouldn't put it past them. And Big Ben doesn't throw longer than 10-yard passes most of the time. There's a reason he had 2.3 seconds in the pocket with the ball before release. And it's the fastest in the NFL last year for a reason, because he would dump the ball off all the time. And then they don't have the defense to stop Josh Allen. They don't. I'm sorry, you're not stopping that offense. Alright, so next game is Niners-Lions. Yeah, I'm taking the Niners here. It's the Lions. They're going to be a basement franchise this year. Win a couple of games and do almost nothing. That's how they've been, that's how they will be. They don't have much at all, so hey, at least they've got the Okwara twins, so the Okwara brothers, so hey, I'm happy. I hope they both have a good season. I hope Julian gets a little bit of starting time too, but that's beside the point. That one I knew my answer before I even looked at that one. And the Niners are coming back fully from the injuries they had last season, so now they're going to be like, all right, we'll prove to you that this year we're back and better than ever. So they're going to have a chip on their shoulder, and that's going to be good. And then Vikings-Bengals. I keep putting my headphones on whenever I record. I have no idea why I do it. I get no benefit from it. I can't hear anything in them, and I don't play music or anything because it's going to get picked up on my mic. Although that would probably carry me on the podcast for another 10 minutes, but Vikings-Bengals, I'm taking the Vikings. The Bengals, they got no line for Joe Burrow. Yes, they got Jamar Chase. What do you do? What's a receiver when you don't have time to throw the ball? I mean, you got Joe Mixon, but I think he's starting to come towards the end of his shelf life as much as I like him as a running back. And as a player, no, he's starting to struggle a little bit. Although he's got no O-line, so now he's going to struggle a lot still. And you can't have an offense with no O-line, because with no O-line, your quarterback can't do anything, and your running back can't run the ball inside the tackle, so you're kind of screwed. But hey, at least they've got somewhat of hope in the coming years. Oh, did I say hope? I meant no hope. Well, they do have a little bit, but hey, hopefully Jamar Chase doesn't turn into Matthew Stafford, right? Right. All right, Jets-Panthers. Yeah, I'm taking Panthers. Jets are another franchise that it's going to be at the bottom of the league this year. Yes, they got Zach Wilson throwing the ball, but Zach Wilson had one good year at BYU. He's coming from a place that you're playing mediocre competition at best. And now you're coming into the league on a garbage team, throwing to Jamison Crowder. And the Panthers, they have CMC, and he's struggled since Cam left, but he's still a good running back. Still a great running back. And not only that, Sam Darnold's there. Yeah, I know that's funny, but ultimately, I think the Jets just suck, and you're not going to be able to stop CMC. And that's the key to that. Cardinals-Titans, this is a tough game to call. Because the Cardinals, I really like their team because they're an offensive juggernaut. Their defense isn't great, but their offense is loaded. Like, they have got an arsenal of weapons. Now, the Titans... But yeah, the Titans, they have a sneakily good defense in their offense. You got Tannehill throwing, which, I mean, Tannehill is, I'd say, slightly underrated quarterback. He just got pulled off COVID list, actually, so he's going to be active for week 1. And he's going to be good this game. He's not throwing to the greatest weapons, I get it, but he is throwing to A.J. Brown and Julio. It's not like he's throwing to D-Hop, but that offense, either you stack the box and stop Henry and hope your corners can handle Julio and A.J. Brown, or you cover up on them and then hope Derrick Henry doesn't turn you into Swiss cheese, which he usually does. Either way. But hey, I'm not complaining because we don't have to play him right this season. Now I have a 425 games. So, Browns-Chiefs. Chiefs, but I think the Browns are going to definitely put up a fight in this game. They've got a very good young defense. They're in the spot. They're in a better spot than the Bills were a couple years ago, but I compare them to the Bills because they've got a very young defense, and I think they just need experience at this point to be a very top 5, top 10 defense. That's all they need. You've got guys like Newsome, Owusu-Koramoah, guys like that who are young and who can play. You just need experience and you're set. Really. I mean, Newsome's a guy who I think could really have a great year this year and then take home a Rookie of the Year or Defensive Rookie of the Year. Owusu-Koramoah, if he gets the time and gets put in the right spot and goes off, he can have a chance too. But ultimately, you got to fight against the Chiefs' firepower, and they've got a firepower unlike any other team. So I don't think the Browns can stop it, but I think they're definitely going to have a very good game. They'll keep it somewhat close. Dolphins-Patriots. Patriots, Dolphins. Well, this is very tough to call too, but let's say Dolphins. Dolphins have been loading up through the draft for the past couple of years. They're another young team that all they need is experience and a couple other pieces, and they're good. Not necessarily the best spot of young teams, but they're still in a very good spot. Now the Patriots just added all these guys, all these tight ends, like an Austin Hooper and a Hunter Henry. They've been adding a lot of pieces, a lot of veteran pieces. But my thing is, it's going to take a while to click, especially with those guys. It's going to take a while to build the full chemistry and everything, and I think that's ultimately going to come together. And I'm going to have to say Dolphins. I think it'll be very close, though. Broncos, Giants. I'm taking the Giants as much as I don't want to. Broncos, they're a franchise I'm higher on, but still I think they'll be a basement team. I think they'll be a bottom 6 because, Drew Lock's going to be their starting quarterback, and they don't have very many weapons on offense, on defense. Not the greatest, and as much as I think the Giants are going to struggle because it's Daniel Jones throwing the ball and they've got their own struggles, they've got more than the Broncos do, and I'd give that one to the Giants. Last 425 game is Packers-Saints. Packers, easy. Saints, they got Jameis Winston throwing the ball. That's all I need to say. The guy got laser eye surgery because he said that's what affected his game so bad. Yeah, that's what made you throw 30 picks. That's what made you go 30 for 30 and be the only quarterback to do it with picks INT. Yeah. And not only that, the Packers are they're gearing up for one last run. I don't think many teams will come in the way of that. And, I mean, they just got St. Brown, which, please come to Philly, please come to Philly, please come to Philly. But that's beside the point. I'll talk about that in a little bit, potentially. Well, no, I might end up getting onto that topic in the stream before the Florida State Notre Dame game, but I'll find a way to get to it. But I'm taking the Packers. This is their potentially their last year to do something with Aaron Rodgers, and they're going to come out firing on all cylinders. I have a lot of faith in this Packers offense and this Packers team in general. And Michael Thomas, we don't know if he's going to be fully back to what he was, and the Packers have Jair Alexander. I don't think I have to say much on that. Deontay Harris, yes, he is their second receiver, but dude, at the end of the day, I think he's got to get a little bit further in his career before I can say he can take over for Michael Thomas and at least give you a lot of good production. And I like Deontay Harris. He's just not what Michael Thomas is. He can't fill that role right now. Now this is your Sunday night game in Bears-Rams. I'm taking the Rams. What kind of question is that? Rams got a nice offense. They just got Matthew Stafford. They're free of Jared Goff. They've got McVay calling plays, and he's a creative young mind. And Matthew Stafford, I think, is a very underrated quarterback. I think this is going to be his time to shine with some weapons like a guy named Cooper Kupp. And yes, they lost Cam Akers. But hey, I mean, you know who they do have? Darrell Henderson is their number 2, and I think he's got a lot of potential. Then your Monday night game, Ravens-Raiders. I think this will be close, but I give it to the Ravens because I don't think the Raiders can necessarily shut down Lamar from running, and I think that's the key. If you shut Lamar down, you beat the Ravens most likely, and I don't think they can do that. While they're rebuilding, they're adding more pieces to their D-line, but it's not where it should be, I'd say. But that's the week 1 overlook, and we carried this on for over half an hour. It's the longest one in a while. But anyways, this has been the Common Flock. I will see you guys later tonight with a stream, and well, I gotta go do my yearly Rudy watch before the first game. But I will see you guys next weekend with the podcast, if not during the week with some videos. I'm out.